So today we're going to show you these extruded acrylic rods, and specifically what we can do with these is we can cut them down to size to either something like an 8-inch piece or a 3-inch piece, which is typical for something like a giant or life-size Lite-Brite. And we're going to show you kind of how we take these, cut them down, polish them, and get them ready for use in a giant Lite-Brite. So we always recommend we polish these acrylic rods for you when you're using them in something like a Lite-Brite. And the reason for that is that they're going to allow light to really pass through even better, and they're going to glow up, which makes them perfect for a Lite-Brite. So you'll see a difference between the glossy polished ends here and the fluorescent rods. This is blue, this is green, and the saw cut fluorescent red rod. So you'll see here that the saw cut looks pretty nice, but it just has a little bit of a matte finish. The polished ones are going to glow even better, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like when they're lit up. So again, the saw cut can look nice, but they don't glow quite as well as the polished ends of the diamond polished rods. So what we do with these rods when we polish the ends is we're using a diamond polisher. The other way you can do this is you can lightly sand the edges, and then you can buff them out with typically a high-speed buffing wheel. And then you can use a flame to polish the ends, which just kind of melts the end of the material and gives it a polished look. That is an option, and sometimes people are able to do that at their home, but generally it takes longer and doesn't give you quite as good as a finished result as the diamond polisher. Just to give you a better idea of what the colors look like here, on the far left we have the crystal clear, followed by the fluorescent red, and then the pink, the magenta, and the fluorescent green on top there. Then we have the purple, the fluorescent yellow, and then the fluorescent orange on the far right. So we sell these rods in a couple of different ways. One way is that you can send us the exact size that you need, and then you choose the thickness, and we can tell you the price per piece, per color, and we will also give you the option to either polish them or have them saw cut. The other way is you can choose from our bundles, which come in packs of 50, and they will be predetermined sizes in different thicknesses as well. The pre-cut bundles come in polished ends only, but we can give you the price for saw cut ends as well if that's what you prefer. So a lot of the rods that you'll find online are only saw cut and they're not polished. And like I said before, the polishing really helps them glow in the Lite-Brite. Saw cut ends will work okay, but adding that extra polish finish is really going to make these rods pop in the Lite-Brite. So the rods are priced in a few different ways, and really it comes down to the number of rods you're purchasing, the thickness in the rod, and the length of the rod. You'll see an example of the costs in our pre-cut bundles that we have for sale online, or we can always send you the exact pricing for the exact number of pieces and the color and thickness of rods that you want. So one thing you want to note with these rods is that the thickness can vary between rods. And so when you're using something that fits really nicely in these Lite-Brites, you're going to want to accommodate for that. So for example, these are 3/4 inch rods that we're using, and we cut these holes at just a little bit larger than 0.75. These are cut at 0.8. And so what that does is that gives it a little bit more room to easily slide in and out here. And if you don't do that, sometimes what you'll find is that they just don't fit as well. For example, these ones are cut to exactly 0.75, and they just don't slide in well. You kind of have to force it in, which doesn't give you as good of an experience. So you want to really accommodate for that regardless of the thickness of the rod you're using. So I hope that helps explain these Lite-Brites and these extruded rods a little bit better. If you have any questions though, give us a call or send us an email. We're happy to chat about any custom projects you're doing, recommendations on the sizes or building the Lite-Brites, and answer any other questions you have with these products. So give us a call, send us an email, and we're happy to help.